On this special Sunday, I want to welcome all of you to the 2019 graduation ceremonies of the Department of Management, Science and Engineering. I am Nick Bambos, the chair of the department, and I'm working very closely with all the faculty and the associate chair, Professor Margaret Brando, and I will introduce all of them very soon. We are receiving exceptional support from our staff and our students in making a great department even greater. In the almost 20 years since its creation, the department has risen to the top of its field, providing high-quality education and research to advance the design and management of technological, economic, and social systems. Our engineering strengths are integrated with a broad-based educational program at the undergraduate, master's, and doctoral levels. Graduates of our program are not only trained as engineers, but as future leaders in technology, policy, and industry. We are excited as a faculty and academic community about the important role that our department and its graduates are playing in shaping a future that increasingly requires blending of technical systems, human behavior, and management insights towards the solution of complex engineering and social problems. Our students come from all over the world and are very spectacular. Actually, they are excellent. Indeed, one of the greatest pleasures of teaching at Stanford is the excellence of our students. We get the best and the brightest from across the world. They learn from us, but we equally learn from them. That's the truth. They could not have succeeded without the support of you, our audience today, parents, family members, and friends. To recognize your invaluable contributions to today's event, I would like all of our soon-to-be 2019 graduates to stand now and to acknowledge their thanks and gratitude. I would now like to introduce the faculty who are here today. Some of them are traveling to conferences or other research commitments and so on. They form an outstanding team of colleagues, scholars, and teachers. Please hold the applause until the end of the list. Professor Itai Aslagi. Well, probably traveling. Professor Steve Barley. Professor Jose Blanchet, traveling. Professor Margaret Brando, the Associate Chair of the Department. Professor Tom Byers. Professor Sam Chu. Professor Chuck Easley. Professor Kai Giseke. Professor Ashish Goel, Professor Sarat Goel, Professor Ron Howard, Professor Rita Katila, former Stanford trustee Linda Meyer, our special guest today. Professor Elizabeth Patek Cornell, Professor Marcus Pelger. He will come later because he's hooding actually one of his PhD students in another ceremony, but he will be here. Professor Burke Robinson, Professor David Shanker, Professor Tina Seelig, Professor Ross Schachter, Professor Aaron Sitford, Professor Bob Sutton, Professor Jim Sweeney, Professor Edison Che, Professor Johan Ugander, Professor Melissa Valentine, Professor Ben Van Roy, Professor John Wyand, and Professor Ying-Yu Ye. So please join me in thanking all our faculty. Now let me introduce the staff who are here today and who are so essential to the effectiveness of the department. Laurie Cottle, Linda Esquivel. Where are you, Linda? Melinda McGee. Where are you, Melinda? And Melanie Montoya. Our special thanks to Laurie Cottle, who has so skillfully led the organization of these commencement ceremonies. I would like now to recognize the teaching assistants and the research assistants who have served the department. These are outstanding individuals whose names are listed on the back of the program. Please stand and be recognized. I would like to express my appreciation to my faculty and staff, all our colleagues, for their extraordinary efforts in a demanding year. I feel extremely optimistic about what we have achieved to date and believe that the department is well positioned to achieve even more in the future. Thank you. So before we move on to the awarding of the diplomas, I would like to recognize outstanding achievement within the department. So I will start with the achievements related to our senior project course. So there is a tie for the second place. There were two projects. The first one was Stanford football sports performance, and it was advised by Professor Marcus Pelger. And the students involved were Louis Burek, Mandy Dubok, Justin Reed, and Colin Riccitelli. And a tie, the other project in the tie was called DoorDash. It was advised by Professor Ross Schachter, and the students were Philip Clark, Juliette Daniel, Danielle De Vera, and Wyatt Pontius. So congratulations to both teams. Now, the first place award for the senior project goes to Pyrans, advised by Professor Sam Chu, and the students involved were Alexandra Hellman, Mandy Kerr, Sammy Quire, and Kate Simon. Please come forward to receive your award. Very good. For outstanding academic achievement at the undergraduate level, I am pleased to present the award to Philip Clark. We're not done with Philip. I am also pleased to present the Ford Scholar Award, which is awarded this year to only 5 students across the whole School of Engineering. And it's going this year, again, to Philip Clark. For outstanding academic achievement at the graduate level, I'm delighted to recognize Rachel Xiong, who I understand is not here today, and Maria Dimakopoulou, who is here today. Where are you, Maria? The Department Course Assistant Award goes this year to Syed Mehdian and Eric Volmar. The Undergraduate Teaching Award this year recognizes Professor Sarad Goel for his excellent teaching. The Graduate Teaching Prize is awarded this year to Marcus Pelger, Professor Marcus Pelger, for his outstanding teaching contributions. And I guess he is not here yet. He will come, and I will hold the award for him, but we will still give him an applause. Students, families, and friends, now is the moment you have all been waiting for. We are now going to present the diplomas. First, we will award the bachelor's degrees. Will the marshals please bring the candidates forward? Please hold your applause until the end.
I'm proud to present the graduates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. First, Rachel Tae-Shion. Alexander Ackerson. Robert Benjamin Baggett. James Tanner Beeson. Nicholas Nestor Benavides. Michael Joseph Bowden. Christina Nicole Buchanan. Louis Burek. Anthony Robert Carrington. Maratwa Shame. Rosalie Yvonne Chang. You earned them. Philip Joseph Clark. Erin Cohen. Avery Ann Collins. Madison Elise Coots.
Dania. Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
Dania Piola Cortez. Jeffrey Stephen Dolly. Juliet Chang Daniel. Federico Derby Elizondo. Danielle Jordan De Vera. Jasmine Doan. Madeline Andrea Dubach. Jonah Zamora Epstein. Jordan Matthew Ewert. Augie Alexander Fabella. Michael Fisher. Colin Patrick Gaffney. Eaglin Daniel Galindo. Sorry. Samuel Gold. Nicholas Allen Gomez. Congratulations. Emma Elizabeth Hanley. Alexandra Rose Hellman. Tyler Jacob Hockman. Grace Evelyn Isford. Sofia Beatriz Jimenez Breen. Justin Nicholas Call. Justin Ikaika Call. Madeline Ray Kerr. Sierra McKenna Kirsten. Diana Dahe Kim. Samantha Rose Corey. Samuel Austin Lauren. Michael Minku Lee. Nathan James Linklater. Paco Litonhua. Allison Nicole Logia. Sin Un Louis. Christopher Ray Lopez. Matthew Theodore Lundy. Cody Adomali. Emil Alexander Martayan. Julia Elaine Massaro. Daniel Ross Matthews. Skylar Gaddis McLean. Christopher Jacob Myers. Michael Morrissey. Evgeny Moshkovich. Karen Elise Munyon. Thomas Cody Wynn. Danny Thomas Pantuso. Daniel Para. Nicholas Vin Pena. Nicholas Manuel Perla Ward. Lakshmi Prakash. Hamangani Reina. Tumasang Ramareya. Ryan Joaquin Ramirez. Walker Ryan Ramirez. Anish Raldanda Rao. Trevor John Rasmussen. Christopher William Reed. Naomi Ma Rosenberg. Catherine Mary Salmon. Ali Adip Sarlagan. Juan Carlos Sarmiento Duran. Mason Patrick Smith. Viva Snapkoskaita. Travis Sosa. Sarah Kimball Stebbins. Nora Lee Jen Tan. Dana Chu Tung. Luis Miguel Cruz Vera. Juan Pablo Villarreal Reynoso. Frank James Voris. John Theodore Walsh. Alex Scott Wilson. Brandon Thomas Wolf. Charlie Wei-Wen Shu. Chantel Yang. Elijah John Sampson Zenger. Molly Zhang. Crystal Ivy Zhang. One more round of applause for the graduates with the Bachelor of Science.
So we will now award the degrees of Masters of Science.
I'm pleased to present the candidates for Master of Science in Management Science and Engineering. First, we have Sahil Sanjay Agrawal. Alexander Ackerson. Yu-Sin Ong. Oseas Adelso Ayerdi. Palyavi Satyababu. David John Barna II. Elena Anusas Brown. Christopher Paul Bucknell Ridarelli. Salvatore Sebastiano Calvo. Wait a second. Terry Chan. Chuan Chen. Mengxia Chung. Prachi Chordia. Silviana Maria Churea Ilcus. Tai John Iwamoto Dinger. Stephanie Lynn Flamen. Jorge Garcia Mesa. Samuel Gold. Guillermo Alejandro Gomez. Christian Gonzalez Rojas. Emily Lauren Grimm. Shinbei Guan. Vishesh Gupta. Maya Ples Havard. Arash Hushangi. Jill Huckles. Gregory Edward Heyer. Andrew Emil Jabara. Nico Yayash. Yushin Ji. Iwen Zhang. Ji-Young Kim. Irina Krivda. Paul de la Villouchette. Sean Lee. Chao Lee. Ya-Ching Lee. Jia-Yu Lo. Henrik Markland. Emil Alexander Marteon. David Carrington Motley. Shri Mupidi. James Alexander Meyerson. Chase Bartholomew Navalier. Arjun Parthipan. Soumya Patro. Joel Person. Min-Dot Olivier Pham. Aditi Rajiv Poduval. Matias Porras Paniagua. Songlin Ching. Humazd Rezai. Gabriel Rodriguez. Ali Edip Saragan.
Dylan Rose Shane.
Dylan Rose Shane. Rena Shaw. Mona Siddiqui. Diego Solorzano Cervantes. Christopher Steele Spears. Sarah Kimball Stebbins. Guangjun Su. Wenqing Melissa Tan. Ashley Marie Taylor. Charles Edward Eplet Walker. Claire Wang. Qingyang Wang. L. Wilson. Grace Wu. Elon Shu. Hung Yang. Pu Yang. Shi Zi Yang. Sylvia Aurora Zanetti. Andrew Zhao. Bunhua E. Zhu.
So we're done with the master's degrees. Let us now recognize the recipients of the degree of the Masters of Science. Now let's move on to the PhDs. So we will now award the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy. Each candidate will be hooded by his own or her own advisor.
I'm proud to present the graduates with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management Science and Engineering. The first is Maria Dimakopoulou from Athens, Greece. coordinated exploration and concurrent reinforcement learning. And she's advised and hooded by Ben Van Roy. Isaac Justin Faber from Edgewood, Washington. Cyber risk management, artificial intelligence generated warnings of threats, advised and hooded by Elizabeth Pate Cornell. Rui Fu from Harbin, China. Network modeling of infectious disease, mathematical framework and policy evaluation, advised and hooded by Margaret Brandau. Oliver Hamilton Hinder. Oliver Hamilton Hinder from Auckland, New Zealand. Principled algorithms for finding local minimum, advised and hooded by Yin Yu Yi. Jungbin Jung from Seoul, Korea. Simple rules for complex decisions, advised by Ron Howard and Shra Goel, and hooded by Ron Howard. Iche Kaynak from Istanbul, Turkey. Boot camps, a new path for occupational entry. Advised and hooded by Steve Barley and Melissa Valentine. Ding Ma from Shenyang, China. Essays in Marketing, Economics, and Optimization. Advised and hooded by Michael Saunders. Alejandro Martinez Machado. Caracas, Venezuela. Scaling Decision Analysis, advised and hooded by Ron Howard, joined by his father and brother, both PhD graduates of our department.
Michael Orogi. Orogi.
Michael John Orogi from Michigan, Essays in Risk and Public Externalities, advised and hooded by Kai Gaiseki. Not too hard. Allison Lorene Pitt from Silver Spring, Maryland, modeling differential effects of health interventions across a heterogeneous population, advised and hooded by Margaret Brandow.
Stephen Wesley Reagan. Stephen Wesley Reagan.
Stephen Wesley Reagan from Coal City, Illinois, modern probabilistic models for human choices and rankings, advised and hooded by Johan Ugander. Your last name? Rahman. Rahman. Yep. Oops. Hatim Ali Rahman from Warren, Michigan, Invisible Cages, Algorithmic Evaluations in Online Labor Markets, advised and hooded by Steve Barley and Melissa Valentine. Try not to screw it up. I practiced hard last night. Jason Michael Rothjay from Voorhees, New Jersey, Essays on Public Funding and For-Profit Innovation, advised and hooded by Rita Katila. One more time. That's fine. Hushman Shirani Mihir from Isfahan, Iran, Counting Votes at Scale, What Computational Models Teach Us About Election Polls, Voter Fraud, and Electoral Change, advised and hooded by Shirag Goel. Congratulations to the graduates with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Management Science and Engineering.
So this concludes our graduation ceremony. I want to thank all of you for coming, some from very far away indeed. It is a pleasure to have you with us today. I would like to invite you to stay and enjoy food and drinks with us. I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the day, and happy Father's Day.